The Great Central Railway is a heritage railway and transport museum on the south side of the village of Ruddington in Nottinghamshire. The route consists of approximately 8.5 miles of the former Great Central Railway main line between Loughborough South Junction, to 50 Steps Bridge and the site of Ruddington's former GCR station site, plus a branch line from 50 Steps Bridge to the Ruddington Fields site, which is located on a former Ministry of Defence site next to Rushcliffe Country Park. There are currently stations at Ruddington Fields and at Rushcliffe Halt, but the GCR-N aims to reopen the former station at East Leake in the future, and there are plans to build a high-level station at Loughborough. The railway is currently not connected to Great Central Railway, although there are plans well underway and work started to reunite the two preserved lines. This is a major engineering project that is expected to be completed during 2018 to 2020. Some 5.5 miles of the line is used by gypsum trains serving the British Gypsum Works at East Leake. Reservation history: after the major part of the GCR main line was closed by British Rail in 1968, a section from Nottingham to Rugby was retained until 1976. Preservationists had hoped to convert that into a live heritage line, but funding was impossible to obtain except for the length from Loughborough to Belgrave and Birstall, north of Leicester. British Rail decided to maintain rail connection from Loughborough to Ruddington Mod Depot until closure, and the GCR main line became an unsignalled single-track branch. When the Ministry of Defence depot at Ruddington was closed, so the 2.77 miles of track from East Leake to Ruddington were no longer needed by BR. It was also considered that British Gypsum was unlikely to bring in any more bulk materials from coal-fired power stations by rail. The GCR Northern Development Association was formed with the aim of reconnecting the then two GCR sections once again. Work initially concentrated on restoring Rushcliffe Halt, but when Nottinghamshire County Council, which had acquired the whole of the 220-acre MOD site, agreed to lease 12 acres of the former MOD site to the association, the grand scheme of the Nottingham Transport Heritage Centre was devised to encompass not only railway preservation but any transport heritage relevant to the area. In the 1990s, work on what had become the Great Central Railway Limited was concentrated mainly at Ruddington. The transfer of former BR property to Railtrack and then Network Rail hindered attempts to purchase the line. Ironically, it was British Gypsum's intention to renew rail freight traffic that was the catalyst that allowed the GCR-N to buy the line and restore it initially for freight use. At East Leake Station, houses were built on the former goods yard in the 1980s and some were built only yards from the remaining track. The disused nature of the line combined with a solicitor's error led the new occupants to believe that the line was closed, but BR had never listed the line as closed and could have resumed operations at any time. However, when the GCR-N applied for a Transport and Works Act 1992 order to purchase and operate the line, objections from local residents resulted in a permanent speed restriction of 5 miles per hour through East Leake and the station remaining closed. For Network Rail to route freight trains onto the line during the week and GCR-N to operate heritage trains at the weekend, a length of rail north of East Leake was removed to create two separate railways. However, with this rail break, the GCR-N were unable to access Rushcliffe Halt, and a better solution was found in the form of a clip-on, double-sided wheel Scotch padlock to the line at the site of the rail break. At weekends, the GCR-N phone Network Rail to take possession of the line. Network Rail then lock the line out of use from their end and allow the GCR-N to unlock the rail break and access the track to Loughborough. In 2003, regular services to Rushcliffe Halt resumed. Passenger trains further south now run on a regular basis to the site of a proposed Loughborough high-level station. The railway route, Ruddington Fields, is the main station on the line and the home of the GC Railway. It features a road transport building, locomotive sheds, GCR signal box, miniature and model railways, cafe, visitor centre, toilets and car park. The Rushcliffe Country Park, created over the balance of the ex-MOD site, surrounds the GCR-N facilities here. In 2009, a new platform was opened. There was talk of a possible extension from Ruddington towards the River Trent on the outskirts of Nottingham called Nottingham Greenwood, which would have expanded the line to an ultimate total of 24 miles in length, but the Nottingham Rapid Transit system now makes it impossible. 1 mile north of Ruddington, it is still possible to connect to NET2. The gated Asher Lane crossing is on a private road which was formerly the MOD Depot Perimeter Road. It is a short walk from the country park to the crossing, where it is possible to see trains passing and the crossing keeper at work. There was a set of sidings here, called Asher Lane Exchange sidings, but they have since been removed. 50 Steps Bridge is the end of the spur from Ruddington Fields, where trains reverse for the onward journey to Loughborough. The bridge itself originally had 50 steps but subsequent modifications have increased that number. The former Ruddington station is further north, the track bed now being owned by the charity, East Midlands Railway Trust, to support the eventual extension of the line. The Gotham branch line was a short, freight branch connected to the Great Central Main Line via Gotham sidings. It was lifted in 1969. The branch originally served a gypsum mine which was located on the northwestern side of the village of Gotham. The sidings may one day be reinstated as part of a possible project to double-track the Nottingham section of the GCR. Trains pass across wide-open countryside at Gotham Muir, which has lots of wildlife, and the line passes under a few bridges. Rushcliffe Halt railway station is named after the nearby Rushcliffe Golf Club. Station development is ongoing. Just next to the station at Hochley Hill is the British Gypsum Works. On weekdays, trainloads of gypsum are delivered to the works and unloaded on the concrete pad visible from the station platforms. An Art Deco linear signal box replaced the original GCR structure in the late 1940s when the sidings were extended. The original station near the centre of the village of East Leake is currently disused and exists only as a single platform, but is proposed for reopening. This will provide the community with a station once again, as well as a potential home for the thriving East Leake Historical Society. Visitors to the area arriving on the railway will also be able to visit the local pubs and restaurants. East Leake Tunnel is the only tunnel on the preserved line. It was built by the Victorian navvies and was dug out by hand. Located close to the 98-yard East Leake Tunnel was another set of sidings, which although removed could be reinstated in the future for extra storage. Between the tunnel and Loughborough Viaduct, the line follows the ridge forming the eastern side of the Soar Valley. The railway continues towards Loughborough, passing close to the hamlet of Stanford-on-Soar. The line travels over the River Soar at Loughborough Viaduct, close to the Brush Works, now part of Wobdg. GCRN passenger trains first travelled across it in 2000. GCRN services terminate at a stopboard close to the A60 road. Beyond that is the connection to Network Rail and the Midland Main Line. There are plans for a high-level station to be built there. The loco sheds of the Great Central Railway at Loughborough are just visible across the MML, about a mile away. There are also plans to reinstate a bridge across the MML and to join up with a GCR at Loughborough on the Leicester side. Once the two preserved sections are reconnected, this would extend to a total of over 18 miles in length. Since then GCR is seeking some £7 million of which £1 million has been raised by Tonars so far. Railway collection. The railway operates classic steam/diesel hauled services to Rushcliffe Halt and Loughborough. Most trains are steam-hauled, but the resident classic heritage diesel collection is one of the best in the Midlands. GC Railway operate every Sunday and bank holiday Mondays from Easter through to October, and also Saturdays during school holidays, and during December. As well as regular services, GCRN also operate a host of special events and gala days. There are 7 steam locomotives permanently based at the railway, 6 of them being of industrial origin, 4 of these being locomotives which once worked at Stewart's and Lloyd's at Corby, Northamptonshire. The line has also hosted locomotives of BR Big 4 pedigree, notable examples in recent years being GW 3700 Class 3440 City of Truro, LBSC Terrier 662 Martello, and LNERO 463601 and currently is home to a Sternia 8F2-8-0. Locomotives. Operational steam locomotives, LMS Class 8 F2-8-0 number 8274. Built in 1942, steam locomotives undergoing overhaul, restoration or repair. Hudds L. Clark 0-6-0 St. No 54 Julia built in 1937, Manning Wardle 0-6-0 St. No 1762 Dolobran built in 1910, Manning Wardle 0-6-0 St. No 2009 Ryle built in 1921, S162-8-0 number 1631. Unrestored and stored steam locomotives, Manning Wardle 0-6-0 St. No 2015 Arthur built in 1953, RSH 0-6-0 St. No 56 Ruddington built in 1950. RSH 0-6-0 St. No 63 Corby built in 1954, mainline diesel locomotives, Class 20 Bow number 20154. Class 25 Bow number D7629. Operational, Class 37 Coco number 37340. Restoration nearly complete, Class 41 Prototype Intercity 125 Power Car BR Blue-Grey livery operational, Class 46 1 Coco 1 number 46010. Built in 1962. Undergoing body repairs, Class 47 Coco number 47292. Built in 1966. Operational, Class 47 Coco number 47765. Otherwise operational, Class 56 Coco number 56097. Operational, Class 73 Bow number E6016. Electric Blue, operational. Operational diesel shunters, Class 080-6-0 number 8220. Ruston and Hornsby 165 0-4-ODE number D2959, Simplex 4WD number 2028 Morris. Non-operational diesel shunters, Class 030-6-0 no D2118. Class 080-6-0 number 13180. Diesel multiple units, BR Class 116 Hybrid Unit 51138 plus 59501 plus 51151 running with Class 117, BR Mid-Brunswick DMU Green, BR Class 108 Unit 53645 plus 53926. Equals carriages equals. BR MK1 carriages, MK1 RMB 1811 in lined maroon. MK1 CK 16168 in unlined maroon livery. MK1 CK 16190 in line maroon livery. MK1 BFK 17023 in lined maroon livery, MK1 TSO 4207 in lined maroon livery. MK1 RSO 1012 later cinema coach 150353. BR MK2 carriages, MK2 BSO 9389, MK2 BTSO 5497, MK2 or BSK 35512, BR MK3 carriages, MK3 SLEP 10602. BR MK3 carriages, MK3 First Class Virgin Livery, MK3 Buffet Car Virgin Livery, MK3 Second Class Anglia Livery. Six-wheelers, MSLR 6-wheeler 946. MSLR 6-wheeler 373. GCR Barnum carriages, GCR Barnum Dining Coach 664. GCR Barnum Brake Coach 695. GCR Barnum Dining Coach 666. GCR Barnum Bar Coach 228. Other carriages, GCR Clerestory Brake Coach 1663. GCR Suburban Brake Coach 555. GCR Suburban Composite Coach 799. Non-passenger carrying stock, BRMK1 GUV 86565. BRMK1 GUV 86129 in line maroon livery. Equals wagons equals. Brake vans, GWR 20-ton towed brake van 68,500 built in 1947. LMS 20-ton brake van 357,488 built in 1926. BR 20-ton brake van 952,282 built in 1954. LMS 20-ton brake van 357,771 built in 1927. BR 20-ton brake van 954,353 built in 1958. Vans branch Palvan 779,761 built in 1958. BR Adefit 784,455 built in 1962. BR 29-ton VAA 200,631 built in 1976. BR Adefit 783,447 built in 1962. BR Palvan 778,771 built in 1959. BR Palvan 776,155 built in 1957. BR Palvan 782,111 built in 1960. BR Adefit 783,257 built in 1962. Rail Freight Pressed Steel Box Van 786,902. Rail Freight Pressed Steel Box Van 201,055. BR Ferry Van 786,902 built in 1962. Ballast Wagons, BR Dogfish Ballast Hopper Wagon 993,039 built in 1959. BR Dogfish Ballast Hopper Wagon 983,586 built in 1960. BR Dogfish Ballast Hopper Wagon 993,597 built in 1959. BR Dogfish Ballast Hopper Wagon 993,230 built in 1957. BR Grampus Open Wagon 991,831 built in 1958. BR Shark Ballast Plough 993,874 built in 1959. Open Wagons, LMS 12-ton Open Wagon 411,453 built in 1937. Flat Wagons, LMS 50-ton Warrell 721,218 built in 1949. BR Weltrel 900,936 built in 1960. Elenia 22-ton Low-Mark Wagon 230,964, BR Bogie Bolster 943,545 built in 1953. BR Bogie Rail Sturgeon 994,271 built in 1956. BR Bogie Rail Sturgeon 994,770 built in 1953. BR Weltrel 900,937 built in 1960. Rail Cranes, L&ER Cowans Sheldon 45-ton Steam Rail Crane 941,602. GCR Rolling Stock Trust, a charity called the GCR Rolling Stock Trust based at the Nottingham Transport Heritage Centre, owns the third largest collection of pre-grouping rolling stock known to exist in the UK, including the famous Barnum carriages and some items that even herald from the days of the Manchester, Sheffield and Lincolnshire Railway. The GCR's title before completing the London extension. The details of the stock are below. Six-wheeler GCR No 946. The group's current restoration project. This vehicle is at the end of a 15-year restoration and is being treated with a museum-quality finish. Barnum Bar Coach No 228 built in 1910. The framework, chassis, floor and roof are in good condition. It is planned to fit a barn once finished. Restoration planned to start once the new Barnum building is built. Barnum Brake Coach No 695 built in 1910. Currently in No 5 shed undercover, but a building is being made up which will hold all 4 Barnums. A kitchen will be fitted to this during restoration. No work ongoing. Barnum Open Saloon No 666 built in 1910. Outside No 5 building but to be moved into the planned Barnum building, work due on it once 695 is completed, should go inside No 5 building to have its body, roof and windows repaired once 664 has had similar work done on it. No work ongoing. Barnum Open Saloon No. 664 built in 1910. Will be moved into the planned Barnum Building. Clerestory first and third class No. 1663. Body stored on a flat wagon but frames are nearly ready to hold the body to take the weight of the body, shortly to be moved on to its own frames. Final framework and bodywork restoration will begin once Barnum No. 664 is complete. Suburban No. 799. Outside with good framework and the roof has recently been tarpaulined. Suburban GCR Coach No. 555. Parted from its frames at the moment. Six-wheeler No. 373 GCR. Stored with poor body and major work needed on the frames. GCR Suburban 1905 No. 793, not part of the RST collection but under the wing of the GCR 567 group is currently stored at Swithland Sidings just been examined and found to be in very poor condition. Now placed under a new tarpaulin for further weather protection. References. External links, Railway website.